Wow, you're getting me twice in one day. I wanted to tell you about one of the things I'm doing down here. One thing about Peru, and in fact all of Latin America, is they are extremely spiritual people. Their spirituality and their religion filters into everything in their life, everything. When over the years people have marveled at my pictures and videos of Peruvians, and the thing I hear more than anything else is they're so happy. They're so happy. They don't have anything and they're so happy. And you know why they're happy? They don't have anything materially, but they have huge amount of spiritual things. They have great hope, they have great belief, they have great faith. They have great faith that everything is going to turn out well, no matter how bad things get. And so they're used to things being bad, and they're used to getting through it. And they're used to getting through it with good cheer and with hope, and again, with faith that it's all going to turn out. So along comes coronavirus during Lent, and the church shut down. All the churches shut down. And if you just have to know that that is the heart of their activities. It's the heart. It's the center of their life. So here we are coming up on Holy Week, Semana Santa, which in Peru is just astonishingly massive event. There are processions, there are endless services, there's Palm Sunday, there's 7 Last Words, there's Good Friday, Holy Thursday, Easter Sunday, and this year, none of it is happening. None of it's taking place. So they're really hurting. They're really hurting. So I am extremely fortunate. It's just, in fact, tonight I was like, how in the world do I get into this? But essentially where I'm staying is a complex that's attached to a church, Santissimo Sacramento. And because the church is closed, Father Joe, who's an American priest who's became ordained in Peru, so he couldn't be transferred to the United States. He wanted to stay here and work with the poor. So, he still says Mass, and I'm the only congregant. I'm the only person. So what an honor for me, and what an amazing spiritual experience for me to be just alone in a room with having Mass. And then I hit on an idea. I have this iPhone, and if I set up another page, I could set up a web page for Santissimo Sacramento Piura, and I could do a live stream of the Mass and see if we can get some of the people who can't come to church to give them a chance to watch it. So I brought it up to Father Joe, and he's like, that sounds like an interesting idea. Let's give it a try. So last Wednesday, I said, well, you know what? Rather than, let's not announce it. I set up the page, made a whole thing, just took pictures off the internet and made a page for Santissimo. And then I said, let's just try it. Let's see what happens. So we did a live stream on Wednesday, no announcement or anything. And we've had over 23,000 views of that first Mass. And every night now we do, so we're doing a rosary at 5:30 and then a Mass at 6 o'clock in the sacristy, just the two of us in there. I just set my iPhone up and he goes, and during that you just get comments on it. Hundreds of people are watching it live, and then it goes on the website page, and then 100,000 more see it. So last night, now I'm new at this, I'm learning as I go along. So it's like, I kind of had hoped only like 4 or 5 people would be watching, not 23,000, because now it's like, if there's any problems. So last night I set it to go, and all of a sudden something happened with my phone. It said, like, you have a chance to twist this or turn this or something. And I said, turn what? Well, now suddenly we're live. And I didn't know what to do, so I sort of scurried off camera, and Father said, is doing the mass, and he kept like looking at me like, and what happened was my camera somehow, the what do you call it, orientation got twisted. So he was doing the whole time, he's doing the mass like this, like. And I didn't know, because I couldn't see the case. If I see the camera, that means I'm on the camera, so I'm off to the side, and all these comments are going by, and then I get the security guard comes in and like waves to me, so I go out and he goes, somebody is watching, and they can't hear anything. There's no sound. So now I'm like, oh, something's gone wrong with the orientation, and now there's no sound. So Father Joe's like, but the thing was, the person with the sound, she just had something wrong with her phone. So everybody else could hear the sound. So after it was over, I said, well, what do you think was wrong? So I sent it to be put on the page, and then I looked at it, and everything was on the side. I'm like, oh man. But this is why I'm telling you this story, is about the Peruvians and their faith. There were hundreds of comments on it, and I scrolled through every one of them. And do you know, there was not one single comment saying, you're on your side. What's wrong with the camera? Turn it right. I can't see. Not one. Every single comment was, God bless you, God bless you, oh Jesus, oh I love you. Every single comment was a comment about the Mass, a response to the priest. I was just blown away by that. Nobody complained at all. They just, as usual, they took it in stride. They said, you know what, that's what it is, I'll just deal with that. I was able to fix it, and then I deleted that one and put a new version on. But even the new version has about 700 views, just the recorded version. So, but this is a terrible trial that the whole world is going through, and I'm with a bunch of people who are used to terrible trials, who are used to things just not working out the way you'd think they would, or extreme poverty, hunger, sickness, early death, that sort of thing. All those terrible things that people all across the world have to deal with. And for them, they've long ago understood that they're not in control. I think that's tough for some Americans. I think it's tough because, we have a pretty comfortable life, and I think it's easy to forget that we're not in control of our lives, that somebody else is. And I think it really shakes us up. And it must be very difficult for some people who are forced for maybe the first time in their life to be alone, or with just one other person or a small family group, to be alone with themselves and try to figure out, what am I doing in this life, and where is the control I thought I had? It's got to be difficult, but it could be a growing process too, and a learning process, and I hope that happens for some of you. I hope it happens for everybody, actually, but we're all going to get through this, and we're going to get through it understanding we're not in control. And you know what, man, that gives it's one of those paradoxes in life that the more you surrender power, the more you get it. You know, the more you give up and say, I have no control, somebody else, thy will be done. You know, it's not my will, it's not my control, it's out of my hands. And that is very freeing.